Welcome to Outdoor Adventure 1998. Today I'm going to be starting my first vlog and I'm going to be voting in the 2017 general elections. Now, I don't know who to vote for. It's either going to be Conservative or Labour. There's very little point voting UKIP. We've already had Brexit. There's very little point voting Plaid Cymru, SDLP or UUP, because no one's ever heard of them and so no one's going to vote for them. And so I suppose the only other one is Green. So we're going to go through them, their manifestos, and we're going to see what they want to offer. So we're going to start with welfare and pension. So when I get old and grey, this is going to matter to me, and so hopefully my vote now counts then. Starting with Labour. Labour, they want to keep the triple lock, and they want to keep the benefits for pensioners, like the bus passes and the fuel allowance. And I think that's good, because when I'm old, I'd like some form of support. I'm not going to be earning money, I'm just going to be on a pension, and so I think winter fuel allowance and free bus passes, they're nice. Conservatives, they want to get rid of all of that. And so on that count, I'd probably vote Labour. The Greens, they don't seem to have any manifesto on welfare and pensions at all. So with welfare and pensions, Labour wins. Right then, immigration. Okay, bit of a touchy topic, but there's only 3 people talking about it at the moment, and that's Conservatives, Labour and UKIP. So, UKIP, for obvious reasons, they want to have no immigration. No, I'm just joking. They want to reduce net immigration to 0 over a 5-year period. I'm not sure how that's possible, because they can't just ban people from entering the country. They want to end freedom of movement between the UK and the EU. But that's going to happen anyway as soon as we leave the EU, because freedom of movement comes with the EU and membership of it, and so not being in the EU, we won't have freedom of movement anymore. Apart from that, they want new migrants to pay tax for 5 years before they're eligible for benefits. Yes, I sort of agree with that. It prevents people from just entering the country and taking benefits. But it's also a bit harsh. Let's say you enter the country perfectly legally, you respect for the laws here and everything, but then you lose your job. You're going to need benefits, and that's why benefits are in place. So I don't think I'd vote for UKIP at all, because they're the UK Independence Party. Their whole purpose in life was to leave the EU, and now that we've voted Brexit anyway, their purpose doesn't really exist anymore, does it? So let's put them over there, out the way. Conservatives and Labour, that's what you want to hear, really, isn't it? So the Conservatives, they want to reduce net migration to tens of thousands. I assume it's above tens of thousands at the moment, hundreds of thousands, let's assume. They want to double immigration skills requirements. I agree with that. We in America, sorry, not America, in Australia and New Zealand, there's a skills allowance on people who enter the country, so you need just certain skills. They've got what's called skill shortages. So let's say your skill is arborist, and they have a skill shortage of arborists. They'll say, yes, you can move to the country, and they'll assist you in moving to the country, because they need more arborists. Labour, they want freedom of movement to end when Britain leaves the EU, and that's pretty much all they've said. But just like what I said before with UKIP, freedom of movement is going to end when Britain leaves the EU regardless. So that's a pretty pointless thing to put in their manifesto. Okay? So on that point, Conservatives would win. So at the moment, we've got on age and pensions, welfare and pensions, sorry, Labour would win, and on immigration, Conservatives are winning. Let's go to, where are we? Education and family. It's just over here. There's quite a few talking about this, and so we've got, where are we? Here we go. We got some strange parties in here: Plaid Cymru, SDLP and UUP. I'm not going to mention those because there's no point voting for them because, well, your vote won't count. No one else is going to vote for them. So we're going to look at Green, Conservative and Labour. UKIP isn't even here. Green, they want to scrap tuition fees, like Labour do, and fund full student grants, which is great. I like that. So on that point, Green and Labour are tying equal. Conservatives, they want to increase the overall school budget. I assume that means more money for teaching students. But what they don't want to do is abolish tuition fees. Now, I'm a student, and so I like the idea of abolishing tuition fees. And so on that count, I'd be voting for either Labour or Green on this. Green want to abolish SATs test. I don't really see any point in that. I remember doing my SATs tests in primary school, and they weren't that hard, and they're pretty necessary because they allow teachers to work out what sets you're going to be in, so what levels of grades you're likely to be in secondary school. And that makes the teaching you get in secondary school more suited to your ability. So I think SATs tests are a good thing, and so I wouldn't vote for Green on that. So far we got on welfare and pensions and education, Labour are winning, and on immigration, Conservatives are winning. So then, Brexit. Now, the Conservatives, they want to do something called a secure, smooth and orderly Brexit. I'm not entirely sure what a secure, smooth and orderly Brexit is compared to a normal Brexit. Theresa May doesn't really seem to explain that to anybody. But she is going for Brexit. And what more can I say? If you want Brexit, then you can vote for Theresa. Or if you want Brexit, then you can vote for Labour. Seriously, her Theresa May's manifesto on Brexit is very limited, really. It's literally just, I'm going to do Brexit. But so is Labour, her main adversary. So, Labour wants to scrap the white paper to do with Brexit and replace it with a set of fresh negotiating priorities, with emphasis on the single market and customs union. So Corbyn, he wants what's called a deal with Brexit, which is where we in the UK we get to keep most of the benefits of the EU without having to be in the EU and pay them millions of pounds a year. So on that count, I think Corbyn's winning. So on that count, I would vote for Labour. So far, with Brexit, education, welfare, and immigration. Sorry, not immigration. So education, welfare, and Brexit, Labour is winning. Which means probably when I go to vote later today, I'm going to be voting Labour. So let's see, the last thing is, that was it. Oh no, let's read the Green Party pledges for Brexit. They want to hold a new referendum on terms of the Brexit deal with the option of staying in the EU. In other words, they don't like Brexit, and they are what a lot of people are now describing as Remoaners, or Remain people who moan, which I think is entertaining. Basically, they think that although Brexit was voted for by more people who have ever voted in any election or any referendum in the UK ever, they still think that those people are just going to change their mind because the Greens say they should. So there you go. Basically, after looking at the policies of education, welfare and pensions, immigration and Brexit, I think I will be voting for Labour. Okay? So, I think that's the end of this video. I'll see you in my next video where I'm on my way down to voting. Thank you.